impromptu speech. I arrived yesterday in Kolkata, and I was connected by Onindo and others from NASSCOM to come and meet all of you. And I was told I'll be surprised with the movement that NASSCOM has started. And I know very little about it, but I have high expectations that there is something that's really remarkable that you guys are doing. So, pardon me, I may not have all the background information, but what I am here to do is share my experience, share my dreams, and make sure that you guys are part of my dream as well. So having said that, let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Subhashish Ganguly. I take care of the business in North Americas, mainly in the Oracle Cloud and BPaaS, which is the SaaS side of it. I think there are a few Cognizant folks here. So I focus on 4 verticals, which is healthcare, life sciences, retail, and high tech. Recently, I've been entrusted with media and communication as well. So what I do is I create business, I create opportunities. What we do from Cognizant is we try to show the North American market what is the future. Now that's an important statement. When I say about 20 years back or 10 years back, it was perceived that our Indian developers are just an engine, a factory, an offshore factory. They're good at development work, they'll do a neat job of development, they'll deliver on time, they'll test, they're good testers. But I think that paradigm is over. There's a paradigm shift. And that's where I think this brand, NASSCOM, is taking you guys there. Why is North Americas and as well as Europe, I manage some business in Europe, in Switzerland, Germany, and UK as well. They are looking at India to take us to the next level of development, the next level of technology. They have all agreed that this is something India is good at, and we will continue to support India to build that offshore development, that knowledge pool. And so there is a huge expectation from NASSCOM and from people like you that you will be stepping up ahead of the technology. Don't restrict yourself as a developer that I've learned the Java skills or I know Oracle or I'm an ABAP coder. No, that's not the image India has anymore in the world. They are looking at that can our team in India think ahead and come up with some efficiencies, some new tools, new methodologies, and I'm going to talk a few things about that. What's my time restriction on this? 10 minutes? So let me cut short. And so why don't I touch on those few emerging areas where I think the designers and the architects in this room are required. So the world is moving out of ERP, number one. ERP, or the single source of truth. That, make a note, that paradigm is over. Now where we are moving is best of the breed on cloud. And the cloud could be sitting on top of the Indian sky. It doesn't need to be in the US. So what you guys will be evidencing very soon is that there'll be a huge demand, huge shift for the industries moving into cloud computing. And the other one, which is SaaS, in Cognizant we call it BPaaS. Because we are a consulting house, we don't sell software. What we sell is services, so business process as a service. So that means the whole hardware, the infrastructure, the database, the application, the development, the design, and the supporting the process, all will be bundled into a cloud offering. So what a North American worker will be doing, they'll come in, they'll just place their laptop, they'll plug it into a LAN cable. They won't have any Word, any application on their, it's like switching on your cell phone. They'll just switch on their machine. They're automatically connected to a cloud where they're getting their desktop services, their application services, and they can check the status that their payroll has been run last night. These many checks were issued and direct deposits happened. These many AP checks were processed. These many hiring were completed. That's the model which is going to evolve over the next 10 years. So we are the guys who are pushing the industry to move towards that model, and you are the people who will be delivering that model. So let me come into your focus area, which is designer, architecture. So the biggest challenge you will be seeing that there will be a huge demand in architects who will be doing the cloud coupling, the cloud mashup, the cloud integration. So it's good to have a development background because that's where you start. You need to be basically a good developer. Without that, you cannot be an architect. Where you are moving is from development to designer. So now you need to have a blend of business and technology knowledge. And that's what I would like to check with the authorities in NASSCOM, what are the services we are providing to bring you up to that level. And I think the only way we can do is to harness knowledge. So we were all focused on how to process data in an ERP system or a custom development application, how to process data. Then we went into another level where we went into analytics, how to transform that data into information. So at a glance, I can see what's my sales target, what's my performance, my KPIs. So data got converted into information. Where you guys are coming is the third level, where information gets converted to knowledge. So this initiative at NASSCOM, I believe, is to create a knowledge platform. And how can you develop that knowledge platform? I have a very limited knowledge. I have done certain areas of specialization, so I'm good at that. But when I'm dealing with a customer who comes to me with a huge plethora of requirements, I can't handle it myself. Where do I go? I can call up my colleagues in Cognizant. I can do some Google search. But if I had a forum where you have members who are coming from different disciplines to collaborate and share knowledge. So I'm really glad to see that this is the initiative that has been started here, that you're building a knowledge platform. So what I would like to see is that each one of you are getting members, logging in as members. You have a profile to share, and you're sharing your interest, where you want to develop. So you need to set your career goal, where you want to be. Do you want to be in cloud integration? Do you want to be in middleware? Do you want to be a blend of infrastructure? Like I said, plug your computer, your Word, your Microsoft Office, and everything. It's all remote. It's all virtual. Do you want to get into the virtualization space? How do you look into security aspects of cloud? Because that's a huge thing, man. Because I had healthcare and life sciences. All my customers are shaky. They're saying, Subhashish, I understand you're pushing us towards cloud. There's a huge cost advantage. But how is my data secure? If Novartis is one of my clients, if Novartis is coming up with a new drug and my other client is AstraZeneca, and both of them are sitting on the same cloud, they're asking, I don't want to share my information. I don't want multi-tenancy. So how do I assure that on a cloud platform, we will ensure tight securities, tight governance? And I think, again, NASSCOM has the governance model very well established. So I will only encourage, stay ahead of the game. I would say with a pinch of salt that, I visited some of the universities here. I was really disappointed with the curriculum. The curriculum is still COBOL, DOS. I couldn't believe why these are being taught in colleges here. When the North America is looking at India as the thought leaders, we should be ahead of the technology curve, and we are still, the curriculums are so backdated, and I think that's why we frustrate our young guys, They cannot relate, so whatever they learn in the college and when they come out in the market, there is no relation between the two. So I think that's where we need to do some work here and put some governance. The other area is, I heard some career discussion from the three young gentlemen who were here. So all of us started our careers looking for a job. Hey, I got a good salary, good job, and I hop. I learn a little bit and I hop for another job, I get a little bit raise. Then I want to, let's say I want to move out of Calcutta to Bangalore, I look for a transfer and get a little bit of a raise. But then you're job hopping. You're not looking for a career. So that was the gentleman who said, bring that passion, set your goal up front. Because that job hopping will never take you anywhere. After a while you'll stagnate. Because while you're job hopping, you're just looking at the pecuniary monetary benefits. You have not built your, like you guys are all rough cut diamonds. You have to polish yourself. To polish yourself, you have to set your career goals. So that's very important. So change jobs. Jobs changing is important because that's how you learn, you get exposed to multiple environments. But with a career goal, I want to be an architect. When I say an architect, I need to have a blend of business process knowledge, and technology-wise. When I say business process, I want to take healthcare and pharmaceutical as my domain. Have a domain. Gradually, you cannot have a domain at the starting. Start as a designer and decide your domain. And then on the other side, you are bringing the best practices of middleware, the SOA, service-oriented architecture, mashup, securities, all that concepts you are building. After that, you know you are going on a career path because it goes up to the COO level. At that CTO level, you know, your career path would take you, if you're in a job. If you're a freelancer, if you're in a consulting, it takes you to the, you know, the consulting lead position. So set that career, and there will be a time where I have reached that position. You look for a job, you have now set your career, and then what becomes is a purpose. So what I'm seeking from my life is a purpose. Can I work with youngsters like you, the guys like you, and build up the next team? And obviously I'll be glad to return to Calcutta if I see I have a huge knowledge pool that I can be proud of. It's easy for me to bring a few brands into Calcutta, that's not a big deal. But I need to see that the backbone is there, that power, because you guys will drive. We are thought leaders. We will have provoking discussions in US. But finally the delivery and the driving is with you guys. I'll cut it short here. If there is any question, happy to take your questions. None? Thank you, and I'm glad to be here today.
I think the claps were not enough. At least we can do this much for Mr. Ganguly. And he mentioned that he wants to come here. Would you want him back in Calcutta? Yes. Can you say a bit loudly? Yes. Okay. So how can you bring him back? By providing him the ticket or the visa? How?
I want a dual citizenship. I can always
You can do it because if you're skilled enough, as he mentioned that at his level, he's looking for a purpose. The other day I was listening to a famous professor from Bentley, and he was talking about a purpose. He gave the examples of whole food. I think all of you have heard about Whole Foods. You've also heard about, and he also mentioned that the maximum number of heart attacks take place on a Monday morning. And why does it happen? Because you don't want to go to the office and you're given some work which you don't like. So if you are passionate like pretty much as what he mentioned, then we can bring Mr. Ganguly back to Kolkata. Thank you, Mr. Ganguly, for being here. It's a pleasure to be here. And you too. You have been seeing all physical presence since morning, and now we are going to have someone from Pune, Mr. Govind Kulkarni. He is a very senior person, and he has got a testing background. I've spoken to many young boys and girls, and when they come out of their engineering colleges, they always feel that, look, I wanted to be a developer, but I could not get the developer's job, so I'm a tester. If I would have got the job, I would have become a developer. So it's not by design that I've become one. But today we are going to introduce someone, and we are using a technology which I think we are going to use on Windows mobile phone and the speaker. He is going to speak to us about the importance and the value of testing. We can ask only one question. If any one of you would like to ask a question, we can only take one question, which could be responded by Mr. Kulkarni. We can't see him, but we can feel him, and I think we are going to feel him in some time from now. So, if you are ready, we can go. Yeah. So we have Mr. Kulkarni for you now. Thank you.